Guys. So we're going to again talk about chapter 3 today. We're going to do fundamentals of physical fitness for the week. And again, I'm just going to hit on some main points that I really find to be important. Hopefully you've already read the chapter and you've reviewed the PowerPoint, so some of this information won't be new information, but I do want you to hear from me of what I consider to be important and what you really need to pay attention and what you need to learn and grow from this chapter. So first of all, there's a very big difference between physical activity, physical fitness, and exercise. So physical fitness is really like the full blanket of what this course is about, and physical fitness is your ability to carry out daily tasks without undue fatigue. So again, kind of like what I was saying with chapter 1 in the video this week of being able to walk up the stairs without being tired, being able to get up and down from the couch without getting winded, kind of thing. And sometimes we might laugh because that sounds ridiculous, but those are legitimate things where people struggle with, of walking to and from class and they get winded or they start to sweat or whatever it may be, and it's not hot outside, it's not anything, that's just they are not very physically fit people. And that is what this course is really and truly about, is physical fitness and learning how to adapt to help your body and be a healthier person. Now, physical activity is a very broad and general statement. So I could say that me getting up and walking to the printer outside of my office is physical activity. So physical activity is technically bodily movement involving contraction of skeletal muscles and requiring caloric expenditure. So physical activity is a broad range of things. Physical activity is going to the grocery store and walking around. Physical activity is gardening, is cleaning, it is walking to my car, it's walking to class. All of those things are physical activity. So physical activity is really bodily movement in general. Now, I don't mean sitting at my desk so I'm like moving back and forth. That's not physical activity. That's just movement. But physical activity is the simple things in life that we do that we don't really think about, that we're being active with. And then exercise is planned and structured repetitive body movements. So things that you actually have to plan for in the morning, afternoon, whenever you exercise. So some examples of planned structured behavior would be weightlifting. That's planned. You have to have weights. All of those things are very important. Some other planned swimming, that's planned. You can't just, well, I mean, you can, but you have to have water, you have to have a swimming suit, you have to have a towel, you have to kind of know what you're doing. Anything beach body wise is planned and structured. They have a workout planned for you. CrossFit is planned and structured. Typically running is planned and structured. You have to have running shoes, you got to know where you're running, you got to know how many miles you're running. Those sorts of things. So all of those things are considered exercise. So I want you to distinguish between physical activity and exercise because they are very different. Exercise is plain and structured. Physical activity is just really activity in general. And if someone were to ask you, basketball is technically exercise because you can't play basketball without basketball. You can't play basketball without basketball goals. So it's plain and structured because basketball is structured by rules. Percentage engaging in regular physical activity, I think that this chart pretty much speaks for itself. Men are on average more active than women. That could be accredited to occupation. Men are typically more active in their jobs than women are. You can consider women the home care and home takers, and I'm not saying that I believe in that necessarily. I'm just saying that that's a lot of the case for men and women. Ages, younger people are more active. That's typically because they have the resources. So if you're in college, you have access to a gym, you have access to the rec center for free, basically. It's included in your tuition, whereas when you get older, you have to pay for a gym membership. You have to make time that you don't necessarily have, whereas younger people have more time. You have access to it. The older you get, you have to pay for it and you have to make time for it. Education, no high school diploma typically is the lowest percentage, and that's because people don't know. They're not taking classes like you. They're not educated on the fact that health and wellness is very important, and they don't understand how to be more active, and they don't understand all of those things. You also have to consider that the less education you have, typically you're not going to get a very good job. So you're making less money, so you don't have time to go to the gym, to pay for a gym membership, to pay for healthier food. All those things are very big contributing factors. Skill related fitness, so those are things like agility, speed, power, coordination. They're all skills that have to do with fitness, more athletic than actual fitness. Now, health related fitness, that does directly impact your health, whereas skill related fitness does not. If my agility is not stellar, it's not going to kill me. Whereas if my cardiorespiratory fitness or my health is not good, it might kill me. So cardiorespiratory endurance is the circulatory and respiratory systems being able to sustain activity while supplying oxygen to working muscles. So that is endurance, being able to consistently do that and your muscles sustain the work by supplying oxygen. Muscular strength is the ability of a muscle or group of muscles to apply force. And the muscular endurance is the effort extended for a prolonged period of time by a muscle or group of muscles. Flexibility, so that's your full range of motion through a joint. Your ability to have range in that joint. Maybe you don't have range in that joint. That's something we can all work on. The excuse of I'm not flexible is no longer truly valid because you can work on your flexibility. You're not stuck like that for life. And then body composition, so muscle, fat, bone, vital tissue, all of those things comprise your body composition. Men and women's body composition is very different, and that's just based on size and the fact that women produce or procreate. So women carry more essential fat in their hips, and that's for childbearing purposes. And women typically have less muscle tissue because we're smaller. So women are smaller, men have more of a they're taller, so muscle is going to be more prevalent when men are bigger than women. The FIT principles, so frequency, intensity, time, and type, those are very important. Make sure you pay attention to those. ACSM guidelines, you need to have cardio at least 3 to 5 days a week, so 150 minutes at 30 minutes, 5 days a week, I do believe, if my math is correct. You need to be doing strength training 2 to 3 days a week, so if you're a beginner, 2 days a week, full total body, 8 to 12 reps, 2 to 4 sets kind of thing. Flexibility training, we do need to be working on a flexibility, so 2 to 3 days, making sure that you're stretching before and after activity. Maybe doing yoga. Yoga is very beneficial. There are so many benefits to yoga that you need to remember. And it's fun. Yoga is fun. I used to hate yoga, but now I love yoga. And we'll do yoga this semester. Warm up, you have to warm up before you do anything. I see so many people jump on the treadmill and just start to run, and that hurts your body. People don't understand how much that hurts your body. So you need to increase your core temperature, your body temperature before you do anything. You need to redirect blood flow to working muscles instead of just generating. Maybe you've been sitting all day, so it needs to redirect slowly and not just quickly. Sometimes it causes you to be more sore, and sometimes you can pass out from direct blood flow going different places. You need to also gradually increase your heart rate instead of just jacking it up. You'll last a lot longer in your workout if you increase your heart rate slowly. And then it reduces your soreness. In cool down, you need to gradually slow your heart rate down and not just completely stop. So a lot of people will run and then completely stop, whereas you need to gradually taper off your running. If you're on a treadmill and you select a program, most of the time it's going to warm you up, and it will go slowly up to the speed that you want to go, and then it will cool you back down by slowly reducing that speed again. So you'll jog, and then you'll walk, and then you'll walk slower, and then you'll stop. And again, that's a redistribution of blood flow. You're getting your heart rate back down, blood pressure is back down, and you're removing metabolic products like carbon dioxide to reduce soreness in those muscles. Facts, make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Make sure you're understanding that water is very important. You need to stay hydrated. Important facts. So is it bad for you to run in cold air? No. Unless you have high blood pressure, it is not bad for you. So please don't use that as an excuse because it hurts your esophagus. cold air is going to hurt. If you don't like the cold air and you don't like that feeling, then go run inside. And then is ice or heat better? Ice is often the best initial treatment because most of the time it's overuse that's causing the injury. So ice 15 to 20 minutes every couple of hours for the first 24 to 48 hours. And then after that, you might want to seek professional help and see what they say. Then what is the difference between a sprain and a strain? Most people get these confused. So sprain is stretching or tearing of ligaments, and strain is stretching or tearing of muscle. Most people would think that a strain would be much worse because it's muscles and muscles are bigger, but sprains are much worse because think about it this way. So I have a rubber band in my hand. Say that I continue to stretch this. This is my ligament. I continue to stretch it. I continue to stretch it. Say I pop it or it bursts. Well, then I have to come back, and this small little band, how am I going to repair it? How am I going to get it back together? Whereas with muscle, they're a very large group of muscles, and they can all regenerate the fibers within the muscle, whereas this right here, this is small. And it's going to take it a long time to repair because this is it. It doesn't have it doesn't have more muscle fibers around it to help it regenerate and help it repair. It is simply just the one strand. So sprains are much worse than strains. They're both painful. Make sure you go to the doctor if you do experience that, and they'll help you. They might put you on crutches, tell you to get off of it, or maybe you need surgery. You don't know how bad it could be. So make sure that you're going to the doctor for that kind of stuff. Again, make sure that you're make sure you're reading your chapter, make sure you're looking at the PowerPoint and paying attention to these videos. And if you ever have any questions, please shoot me an email. Have a great day, guys.